Dear Upera colleagues, hi everyone. This is Joel Rasmussen, risk communication researcher at Örebro University in Sweden. For this short video, I want to share a couple of remarks on the Swedish COVID-19 communication. As was mentioned in the newsletter from Upera, I did this study on Swedish COVID communication for the official government investigation, and it focused on issues of coherence and clarity of risk communication. And it's actually published online on the official website of the Corona Commission. But more importantly, one idea that I started to develop when working on that report was to look more closely at the logics that the leadership adopted, facilitating different types of risk communication and different choices regarding managing the pandemic. And a logic may be defined here as the purposes, rules, and presuppositions that render a practice possible, intelligible, but also vulnerable. To give an example, as most of you know, the political and administrative leadership in Sweden chose a strategy to deal with COVID that differed from others, in that it featured less coercive measures and less collective prevention, such as different lockdown initiatives. And instead, it was based a lot on behavioral recommendations and on individual responsibility. But what less of you may know is that these measures taken in Sweden were claimed to be evidence-based, as in evidence-based medicine. Politicians and public health experts alike stressed that the measures needed to be based on evidence, on data, and on studies. So, in managing a situation with a novel virus, my Swedish peers were to act on evidence. It seems like a quite paradoxical challenge, doesn't it? Managing a situation with a novel virus on the basis of evidence. In practice, I think it made for a quite dangerous cocktail of action and, more importantly, inaction. On the one hand, the Swedish leadership demanded sound data about the dangerousness of the virus in order to act. And on the other hand, they also demanded sound data about what could help against this novel virus. This made the decision-making process slow, I think. And it made possible the underestimation of both the seriousness of the risk and the value of protection. For instance, in the absence of good enough data, in their opinion, the Swedish political and administrative leadership went against the World Health Organization on the issue of protective masks, not for a few weeks or a couple of months, but actually for almost the entire first year of the pandemic. If you wait for evidence, there is a big risk that the response will prove to be too little and too late. And what the risk management literature rather advise is that if a risk is both serious and uncertain, it is wise to adopt the precautionary principle instead of a logic of evidence. And then you specify and prepare for different scenarios, including worst case scenarios, and you adopt protective measures that are for a fact effective, but also those that could be effective. That was a logic that prompted the leadership of the neighboring countries of Sweden to act differently, like Denmark and Norway. All right, so that's one research idea that I am exploring at the moment. Various logics that help facilitate certain measures and not others during the pandemic, what they consist of and how they may differ between various regimes. And that's it for now. I hope to see you soon, and thanks for watching.